routes where we're flying partially over water, partially over land, they're going to get even more speed up because those overland components can be flown boomless cruise 50% faster than today's airplanes.
I mean, like I went on my honeymoon with my wife to New Zealand, and those flights are just so painful. I'm the biggest aviation geek you probably ever met. Maybe we could fight for that. I don't know, but who isn't on a commercial flight? And if the stewardesses came out, halfway through the flight and said, "Who wants the flight to be done?" or "Who wants to continue on for the second half?" I think everybody in every airplane would raise their hand and say, "I'd rather be on the ground now." And so that's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean that's right. I mean I don't know a single person who doesn't want supersonic flights, so long as they're safe, affordable, sustainable, and quiet to the people on the airplane and quiet to the people on the ground. And that's what we've really demonstrated here with XB1. We've built a supersonic jet with airliner technology. It scales up and it solves the big problems. It solves the big problems that Concorde had. It solves the sonic boom problem in boomless cruise. It solves the efficiency problem. It solves the takeoff and landing noise problem with turbofan engines. And what that means here is,
Sorry, I just get distracted by the landing gear coming down again because, again, I'm a landing gear engineer and I just geek out on it every single time I see it. And so Geppetto just completed the pre-landing checklist.
Test control, you were go damper.
Dampers coming back on.
Ah, yeah. So we snuck in a test point there. Talk about it real briefly. We did some more dampers off investigation. So here, even in the last 5 minutes of XB1's flight test campaign, we just did more stability augmentation off assessment of how the airplane flies. And that's going to be very valuable data as we scale that up and apply it to the flight laws on Overture.
That's right. I mean, XB1 has manual flight controls, but it's got digital stability augmentation. We did that to take a step towards learning how to do digital flight controls. And of course, Overture is going to be a fully digital fly-by-wire system.
So XB1 is about 5 miles out at this point. And he's lining up, and he's going to get cueing again from our landing signal officer who's standing at the edge of the runway. He's going to help guide Geppetto down for landing.
Contact, winds are right down the pipe. Calm, you're slightly above glide path, you're on center line.
So
1.4 final.
Roger, final.
Let's watch XB1's final landing.
You're on center line. You're on center line. You're on glide path. You're on glide path. You're on glide path. You're on glide path.
And of course, as you can see in the landing here, XB1 comes in at a
You're on glide path, 50 feet.
Pretty high angle of attack, right?
pretty high angle of attack, right? Yeah, and that's why we need that augmented reality computer vision system.
5.
There we go, another beautiful
Oh,
touchdown.
we greased it. Geppetto has made this look easy every single time he's done it. What a pilot.
Welcome aboard, Geppetto. It's been a pleasure working with you and the team.
Oh, and there goes Wiper. He's having a little bit of fun.
Awesome. So you heard the closing sentiment there from our landing signal officer, and it's been a pleasure. We've talked about this in the past, but in addition to the design, the development, the manufacturing, the testing, also the technique. So we've got this forward-looking vision system for the cueing that Geppetto needs to land the airplane. And that's, of course, so we don't have to have that big, heavy dropping nose like Concorde famously did, just to provide visibility. But we need this experimental system, and we need a safe way to test it for the first time. So we've demonstrated this technique that I'm unaware of anyone ever doing in manned flight test other than the Navy. They do it routinely landing on aircraft carriers. But we applied that to prove the system out. And I would expect Overture to do something very similar during the initial portion of its campaign. And then once that system's been proven,